Hi there. Today we are going to learn how to implement smooth scrolling in Next.js and add the parallax animation using Gsap. We are going to create this website. I suggest you to open this link from the description in a new tab to experience the smooth scroll effect by yourself. Check how the images are moving when I scroll. It looks really smooth. Also, I have added a parallax effect on few images, so you will be able to see that these images have a different scroll speed. Now let's click on this scroll to anchor button, which will scroll to the element that has the ID and also uses the smooth scroll to go there. Now I have added the ID at this last image, so it will scroll down to this image. Now check out the second image that reduces its height because of overflow hidden property. Just by adding this small CSS property, we can create this nice smooth effect. Now there are many options by which you can add smooth scrolling in your Next.js website, such as locomotive scroll, smooth scroll bar, custom implementation using Gsap. But we are going to use Lenis, which is really lightweight and easy to use. It is created by Studio Fret or Fret Studio. Let me open the GitHub repo. Now, as mentioned here, it is lightweight and smooth as butter scroll. Now we are not going to use this because it is for the vanilla JS. Instead, we are going to use the version that is used to implement smooth scroll in React. So if you go down to plugins, here is the React-Lenis. Click there. Now let's use this one. Open your command prompt and first let's create the Next.js project. So for that, just write npx create next app and write @latest. So it will add the latest files and click enter. Let's name our project as Next.js smooth scroll. We don't want to use a TypeScript for this one. Yes for ESLint, yes for Tailwind CSS, yes for src directory, and yes for app router as well. Let's keep no for the customize imports. Now it will install all the required libraries. It's done. Now let's go to that project. So just copy our project's name, use change directory and paste the name. Now here, before we start the development server, let's install this. So copy this and just write npm install and paste. Also let's install the Gsap as well. Now let's open this project in VS Code. So for that, you just have to write code and dot. Let's start the development server as well. So just write npm run dev. Now let's implement this one. So let's copy this and in the src, let's create one more folder called components and make sure to create this components folder in the src and not in the app route. Let's create one component called smooth scroll.jsx and paste this here. Now we are going to use this as a client-side component. So for that, we have to add use client before the start of this component. Let's change its name to smooth scroll, and let me remove this for now. Let's export this. As a default smooth scroll component, and let's save this. Now let's understand this first. Now anything you pass in between this React Lenis provider, it will have the smooth scroll effect. Let's see which props we can pass here. So here we can pass options, root, auto ref, and ref priority. So what are the options? So for options, you have to open this one, and if you scroll at the top, here are all the options that you can use. We will use this later, but before that, let's add a few elements. Let's pass children here, and instead of this content, let's add the children. Let's save this, and we are going to use this smooth scroll component inside the layout, so it will be implemented in all the pages. So instead of this children, first let's import the smooth scroll, and inside this let's pass the children. Now let's create one component to display all the images. Let's create one component called ImageList.jsx. Let's use React fragment and add the images. Now for images, I'm going to use this Lorem Pixum website, which will give random images based on this URL. So let's import the image from the next/image, and for the src we are going to pass this URL. Let's make some changes in this URL. 600 for the width and 400 for the height, and let's randomize this image. For that, you just have to write random equal to 1. For the alt, let's just write smooth scroll, and width pass 600, and for the height pass 400. That's it. Now let's add like 9 more images. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and let's add one more for the 10, and let's change this random to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's save this and import this image list in the page.js file. First, let's remove everything. Keep the mean as it is. Let's import the image list. Let's change this class names. Write padding -32, display to flex, and flex direction to column, width to full, items center, and justify to center as well. Let's save this. Okay, it says invalid src prop on next image. Host name pixum.photos is not configured. under images in your next.js.config.js file. So let's configure this. Now for that we have to open the next.config.js file, and here let's add images and write remote patterns and open the array, and let's add protocol, which is the HTTPS, and host name will be the pixum.photos. Let's save this. Now this will reload the development server, and let's reload this. Now we have all the images. Now as you see, it is already smooth scrolling. Let's see different options that we can add in the smooth scroll. So it has right now root. That means Lenis will be instantiate using HTML scroll. And for the other options, let's see. Let's use the lerp. Let's go to the smooth scroll, and after this root, let's use options and make sure to use double braces. Let's just write lerp, and for its value let's use 0.1, which is the default value. Here the lerp is the speed of the scroll. Let's save this. It will not make much difference, but let's change this. Let's lower this value, just write 2 zeros. Let's save this and see how it looks. As you can see, it is scrolling very slow. Let's just keep it to 0.1. Let's see any other options that we can use. Let's use this duration, the duration of scroll animation in seconds. So after this lerp, let's use duration. Let's add 1.5 seconds. Save this. And it looks great. Now there are multiple options that you can try. Let's enable the smooth touch. So whether or not to enable smooth scrolling for touch events. So we want smooth scrolling for the touch events as well. So let's just add smooth touch and make it true. Now that's it. Now let's see how we can add the parallax effect. Inside the components, let's add one component called parallax.jsx. Now this component also going to be a client-side component, so make sure to write use client directive. Now in this component we will pass class name, children component, speed, which is by default will be 1, and an ID for the scroll trigger of Gsap that we are going to implement. For now, let's just write parallax. Now in here, now first div will be the trigger to like start or end the parallax effect, and we will add the class name from the props in this div. Now the second div element will be the target element where we are going to implement the parallax effect, and in this div we are going to add the children component. Now let's use ref. So just write constant trigger, use ref. Make sure to import it from the React. Let's copy and create one more time for the target element. Let's attach this ref to this div. So for the first div, we're going to attach the trigger ref, and for the second, we're going to attach it for the target ref. Let's save this. Now let's add one more ref called the timeline. Now this is the timeline of the animation that will be created by Gsap. Now let's start implementing the effect. We are going to use the use effect for that. Now for all this boilerplate code, I'm using the extension called the ES7 plus React Redux snippets. Now first, let's import the Gsap from Gsap. Write dot register plugin. Now here we are going to register the scroll trigger plugin. So make sure you import that from the gsap/scroll trigger. Now let's use the timeline ref. So just write timeline dot current equal to gsap dot timeline. Open it and let's use the curly braces. Now inside this curly braces, we are going to use the scroll trigger. So just write scroll trigger, and inside the scroll trigger properties, first let's pass the ID of the scroll trigger, then pass the trigger element, so which is this div. So just write trigger dot current. Now next let's add scrub to true. Now this will make the animation smooth and not jumpy when scrolling up and down the pages. Now let's add the start. This is where we are going to add a value which is going to use to start and end the parallax effect. So we are going to write top and bottom. This means the animation will start when the top of the trigger element, which is this div, so top of this div element reaches the bottom of the viewport. Same way, let's add the end. Now for the end, we are going to use the bottom of the trigger, which is the top of the viewport. So this means the animation will end when the bottom of the trigger element reaches the top of the viewport. That's it. Now let's save this, and also we have to clean this scroll trigger when the component is unmounted. So inside the return, just write timeline dot current dot kill. Now before this dot, let's add a question mark. Now this operator is used to check if the timeline is undefined or not. And inside the dependencies, let's pass ID. Let's save this and use this inside the image list. Let's open the image list. Let's add parallax in this second image. So just write parallax, and inside this parallax, let's add this image. Make sure to import it. Let's add the class. Just write self end, so it will be at the end of the row. And for speed, for now let's pass 1. Let's save this and check if how it looks. All right, now we have yet to calculate the speed and add the effect on this image. So let's go to the parallax. Now we are going to use the width of the window, and based on that we are going to calculate how much the element should move. For that we are going to use one hook called use window size. This hook is also created by Studio Fred. Let's check it out. So let's open this profile and go to this one, HAMO. So it has a list of hooks that we can use. Also, you can create your own hook to get the window size, but for this tutorial we are going to use this. Make sure to read this, that this package is not stable. API might change at any time, so use at your own risk. Let's install this. Now let's import the use window size hook. So just write import and use window size from studio fred /HAMO. Let's use this. So after this ref, just write const deconstruct the width as window width from the use window size hook. Now let's calculate the y, so how much the image should move on the y-axis. So write const y equal to window width multiply by speed and multiply it by 0.1. Let's use this y. Now before that we are going to add a quick setter function. So just write const set y equal to, just write gsap dot quick setter. Now inside this function, let's pass the target element. So just write target dot current and pass the value that we want to change. So we want to use the y and we want to use the pixel as the unit. So this means here we have created a function that will set the y position of the element. So the gsap dot quick setter method is a handy way to create a function that will set a specific property on a specific object. In this case, we want to set the y property of the target element in pixels. So let's use this set y function. So on update, let's pass event and use the arrow function. Let's use set y, and inside the set y, first let's use e dot progress and multiply it by y. So they should update the scroll trigger value, and inside the dependencies let's add speed and window width. So it will re-render whenever this values will change. Let's save this and check it out. Now as you can see, it has implemented the parallax effect on this second image. So let's change the speed. Let's set it to -2. Let's save this. Now as you can see, it is moving really fast on the opposite direction of the scroll. Let's use +2. Now it is moving downwards. Now let's see how we can create this one. So for that, we just have to add overflow hidden property. And as you can see, the height is changing based on the scroll value. Now let me add this parallax on different images. Let's save this and check this out. As you can see, this image is going at the bottom of this image. Let's change its position. from center to start. As you can see, this image has a different speed. Now let's see how to implement this button and get the value of the scroll, and how to use the scrollTo function. For that, we are going to use the use Lenis hook. So let's just write const Lenis equal to use Lenis. Now this hook will give us the scroll value. So let's log this value. Make sure to import this use Lenis from the react-lenis. Let's save this and see the log. And we have received this error because we are using hooks, and hooks should only be used inside the client components. So make sure to pass use client directive. Let's open the log. As you can see, we have a lot of values such as animate scroll position, and even you can get the element that is used to implement this scroll effect. And here it is, that is the content and all the values of the options that we have passed. So Lenis gives you a lot of things that you can use to manipulate the scroll. Let's just get the scroll value. Let's save this. Let me reload this. Now as you can see, whenever I scroll down or up, it is giving me the value of the scroll position. Now let's use this. Let's create one button first. Just write scrollTo anchor. Let's give some class to this button. Set background to white, text to black, capitalize the letters, padding to 4, font to semi bold, text size to text-XL, and margin top to 16. On hover, let's change the background color and use the opacity 90. Let's save this. Now in the button, let's add an on-click function. On click, let's use the arrow function, and here we are going to use the Lenis. So let's see how many functions we can use using this Lenis. So if you go to the documentation, go down to the instance methods. Now these are all the methods that you can use on the Lenis. So we're going to use this scrollTo, which takes the target and the options. So let's write dot scrollTo, and here let's pass one ID. So just write hash, write last dash image, and for the option, let's just write lerp to 0.1. Now let's add this ID at the last image. Just write ID equal to last image. Now let's save this. Let's click on this button, and it has moved to the last element. Now let's decrease the lerp value to 0.01. Let's test this again, And as you can see, it is moving really slow to this last element. Now I suggest you to play with this library, use all the values and methods to see how much customization it gives for your project. Thank you for tuning into this tutorial. If you found value in this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and be sure to share and subscribe for more content. If you enjoy this type of tutorial, share your thoughts in the comments below and let me know what you like to learn next, and I'll do my best to cover it in the future videos. Thank you.